I'm ready.
Be Hassan that's on the dock.
You've been so patient.
What's that?
You've been so patient.
I get it. Well, I had some rounds to make this morning.
Hassan.
Yes, Hassan. So she's here from California. So what happens is she's on PTI. We get notification that there's some violation. We hadn't pulled any of the stuff to really take a look at it. She's given me.
You've not seen what the violations are?
I'm sorry?
You've not seen the violations?
No. I've seen like the kind of the blanket thing where they allege the usual, like a blow, something like that, or a misty blow.
Ms. Hassan, come up.
And so what we're gonna request is obviously a reset to be able to speak to the appropriate person. Ms. Geis, I believe, is in charge. Right.
Has she already been booted out?
No, this is the initial, they always,
Everything didn't have to go to the PTR program, she would. But because I guess everything is in limbo, they're just waiting.
What violations do we have?
218 is alarming. She's estrogen 14 to 34 skip test a month on her device. She tested positive for THC. She's filled her report for her office visits on the September 24th, October 8th, December 3rd, December 31st, and January 8th.
Can I,
No.
so obviously.
Actions speak.
yeah,
Right.
Your Honor.
Stop. Don't. Got a lawyer.
I'm just passionate about this. If I could, Judge, we request a reset. Let me get all the.
So, but I'm now going to put an ankle monitor on her so I know that she's not consuming. I'll pay for it.
Did you fly?
I did fly.
Did she fly on an airplane with that?
I would assume so. But she's on bond in this court. She's skipping tests that she's not supposed to be doing. I'm putting a scram monitor on you. That's it.
I do have an answer.
Guys, you talk
Yeah.
over there. You're on bond in this court.
Okay. And I will travel as well with the monitor, but I did have an issue last time I came with the DUI machine. It stopped working because I traveled out of state and I was ordered to pay a whole new device, turn it in, and I had to wait a whole week without testing because of that problem. So I just don't want to run into that same problem with the ankle monitor.
So when you have issues,
Mhm.
you're supposed to contact the provider immediately and let them know, hey, I've got an issue. You go to where they are, right? And there are devices that they're global. You can go all over the globe. They use, Wi-Fi or whatnot, so that it doesn't matter where you are. You can be in Abu Dhabi. You're still able to use the device, and the device can go internationally. There's just, if you know that that's a lifestyle you have, that's the kind of machine that you get. So regardless, I'll give you, the case is 400 days. I will give you some time, right? Tell me, how much time do you want?
I don't know, like 3 or so weeks,
Done.
because everything else in the way that, and then can we wait for appearance, the next setting?
I don't know yet, because if they deny it, then we need to figure out what we're gonna do.
Figure something out. Yeah.
So,
Like she and I hadn't really had the time to sit down and just really go through, obviously she's very passionate about what happened and.
so amending your bond conditions, you will get a scram ankle monitor now. If I find that you're consuming alcohol, and I don't care what it is, I don't care if it's mouthwash, I don't care if it's a tequila lollipop, I'm gonna revoke your bond. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Can you run her license to see if she has a license?
Yes, Judge, I'll run it right now.
Today,
What time?
later in the evening, like around 6, 7.
So Judge, her flight leaves today at 6 p.m.
She's gonna go now. We'll get her in now.
Get it done.
Right now.
Okay, right.
Your Honor, it appears to be a valid California license.
As long as you have a valid license and liability insurance, then you can drive unless, well, no, you're not allowed to drive without an interlock. So you have to have the interlock.
I'm not driving right now.
I'm just telling you what
Okay.
the expectation is, so that, I don't want to have to revoke your bond. You have to know what the expectations are. Now, okay, so we'll give you whatever time you want at the next setting. Because your case is old and because of their violations, I'm not waiving your appearance anymore. If you get her back in to the program, I guess at that point, we don't need her here, right? I'll waive it. But if it's denied, then she's got to come back here so we can resolve it one way or the other.
Okay, I'll just file a new court.
Just let me know. Yeah. Okay. All right, man. Good luck.
All right. Now, another thought. How do you use your monitor the name? You all use the divorce system, the good old fashioned, plug
Yeah.
our stuff down.
Yeah. You plug in there's an outlet that you'll plug it in. I have no
Yours
idea.
may be the only one in the whole courthouse that works.
So
I know how to use that.
yeah, you plug in over there and then the TVs will work so that you can do are we set Tuesday?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're definitely going?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Is Mr. Jones, right?
Yes. Mr. Jones.
Judge,
You were-
I don't think it was that he picked up a new case. It was just that they were separated.
No. One, we have an assault from September of 24 and he picked up a DWI January 19th,
When was the assault filed?
right?
It's not Johnston.
Yeah.
Assault was filed September 10th, and then the DWI filed January 19th.
Judge, it was an open door for a long time. Donald never closed it.
So the 2B gets filed September 10th of 24. Capias issues on the 12th. Yeah, I guess you're right. So, Mr. Jones, you're charged with two cases. You're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're also charged with assault of a family member. On the assault case, you're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. On the DWI, you're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you.
Which case, Your Honor?
Both. We have to do both. Dealer's choice.
Yes, Judge. So on PM on June 24th, 2024, officers were dispatched to a disturbance. The complainant and the defendant were in a verbal argument over his driving, and the defendant continuously made threatening remarks to the complainant until they arrived at their apartment. The complainant locked herself in her bedroom, and the defendant kicked in the door. The complainant tried to flee the apartment, and the defendant grabbed a kitchen table chair, lifted it above his head, and slammed it on the complainant's head, causing pain.
Gosh.
The officers observed the complainant had open wounds on her right pinky finger, the inside of her right forearm, and her upper neck chin area. And then on the DWI, on January 18th, 2025, the officer was dispatched to a traffic hazard on Airport Boulevard in Harris County, Texas. The officer met with a wheel witness who said he was driving when he saw a truck that was stopped and turning off in a moving lane. The wheel witness went to the truck and saw empty beer cans in the bed and the defendant in the driver's seat. The wheel witness said the defendant appeared to be intoxicated, so he called police. The officers made contact with the defendant and noticed an odor of an alcoholic beverage, watery red bloodshot eyes, and slurred speech. The officer asked the defendant to step out of the truck and noticed the defendant was swaying. The defendant said he was coming from his mom's house and had two 12-ounce beers prior to driving. The defendant refused to participate in center-field sobriety tests. The defendant was read the DIC and refused to provide a sample. A blood search warrant was signed and executed.
Is there alcohol in the car while he's driving?
No, Your Honor.
And Judge, if you look at his eyes now, his eyes are red. I think that that's more of a medical condition than anything.
As far as the assault is concerned, he had an assault that was dismissed in 23. Is this the same complaining witness, Alex?
Yes, Judge.
Mr. Jones, there's a protective order that has been issued in this case. I would get to know it. If you violate said protective order, the state can and will probably file a violation of protective order. That is the capital murder of misdemeanors. Do you understand? It's one of the worst cases that you can pick up. I am ordering you as a condition of your bond not to have any contact with this person whatsoever, not to be in possession of any weapons. I'm also ordering you not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, or unprescribed controlled medication. I'm going to randomly test you. If I find that you're using, likewise, you will go to jail. No more PR bonds. Do you understand? Any prior DWIs, can you run a full NCIC, please? And does he
Yes,
have
Judge.
an
And
does he
there's no prior DWIs.
Texas driver license,
I'll run that right now, Your Honor.
please?
Your Honor, the driver's license says eligible in our system.
Okay. Like I said, you're not to have any contact with the complaining witness in this case. I don't care if she calls you, you have contact with this person, then I'm going to put you in jail. If she calls you, do not answer the phone. If she calls you from an unknown number, you hang up the phone. If she texts you, do not reply. If she comes to your house or wherever you may live, don't answer the door. But if I find that you have any contact with this person, it's just not going to go well for you. I've given you a lawyer. It is your responsibility to stay in touch with Mr. Perez. He will tell you when you have to come back to court. If he tells me he can't get a hold of you because you're playing games, likewise, a warrant will issue for your arrest. I'm going to do everything in my power to protect this community in every single way. Do you understand? Okay. All right.
Thank you, Judge.
Goes with you.
That's fine.
Good morning, Mr. Barnes.
Good morning. Sorry, David. Sorry.
You made it out.
Just
Just, we're not asking for much, man. Just be careful, behave, don't do anything you shouldn't do, you know? Is those cases are still open in Fort Bend or what?
The current case is still open in Fort Bend. It's still pending. Your next court date is down there.
this on March. Not all the cases are open.
One of them's still open. Paul Two's representing him. I talked to Paul yesterday. And it's set for sometime in March. I can't recall the exact
It's
date.
okay. Have we done PC on this yet or no?
We haven't done anything. He was in custody.
Right. Okay. So we're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. I just want to see if there's enough to go forward on your case. I don't know what happened. Okay, Alex, please.
Yes, Judge. On September 4th, 2024, the officer observed a hand-to-hand transaction between the driver of a parked vehicle and another individual. The defendant was a passenger in the vehicle, and the officer approached and smelled a strong odor of marijuana. The officer asked the defendant to step out of the vehicle and saw in plain view a scale in the driver's side door, and the officer detained the defendant and the driver. The officer found a bag of marijuana in the defendant's waistband pursuant to a pat-down, and the weight of the marijuana was 1.27 ounces.
Tell me he saw him do a hand-to-hand transaction or someone else?
The driver of the vehicle was a hand-to-hand transaction, and when he approached the vehicle, he asked the defendant and the driver who did a hand-to-hand transaction to exit. And furthermore, the officer smelled an odor of marijuana.
I know, but why would he search him?
What?
I get it on the driver because he sees the hand-to-hand contact with them, but he's just sitting there.
Your Honor, the only thing would be officer safety, just to pat down. That
All right, Mr. Barnes, I'm going to find no probable cause. Just be careful. All right? Really. You hang with dogs, what happens? No. You get fleet. Well, you can get bit too, right? Please,
It's a bad dog.
just don't hang out with the wrong people. All right?
Yes, sir.
Come on.
Christopher.
Thank you, Your Honor.
We really have 4 open cases now with Miss Newton. What is your true name, ma'am?
I'm sorry.
Miss Newton, you now stand charged with 2 more cases. You're charged with another theft case. You're also charged with failure to identify oneself to a peace officer. You are facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine on both of those cases. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you, ma'am.
Yes, Judge. On January 17th, 2025, the officer was dispatched to JCPenney's regarding a theft or shoplifting. The officer made contact with the complainant, a loss prevention employee, who stated the defendant, Newton, and a co-defendant, Woods, entered the store, selected several items, put the items inside a personal bag, and exited the store, passing all points of sale without paying for the concealed items. The complainant stopped the defendants outside and escorted them back to the loss prevention office. While at the office, the defendant identified herself as Christiana Ray to the officer. An AFIS search came back to reveal the defendant's real name with an outstanding warrant out of Harris County, Texas. The total value for the items was $268.
She has a theft from December of 22, a theft from June of last year, and now 2 more cases. Was she on bond for either of these cases when she picked up the 2 new cases?
Let me see, Your Honor.
I'm looking at Miss Newton here. Was she on bond for any of these cases, or were they all just in open status? It's 254, 8009.
Or it appears bond was made after the new cases. On the 19th, the new cases were picked up on the 17th.
In the full processing page, last name KOTUN, that's the original case, and there were multiple bonds posted on that one. A GOP and a surety, and then these other cases got picked up. So it's a third lane.
251, it appears she posted bond only one time on the 19th of this month.
It's judged on the 243.
That's the one that was
the
in
GOB.
current status, right?
Yes, Judge.
Where are they from?
So the theft, cause number 243 was a Dick's Sporting Good. The
So Dick's,
Dick's, and then 251 theft was a Sephora, and then the most recent theft was a JCPenney.
Miss Newton, Miss Williams, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. I'm now putting a monitor on your ankle so I know where you are at all times, and you are forbidden from going to JCPenney, any JCPenney. You're forbidden from going to any Sephora. You're forbidden from going to any Dick's Sporting Goods. If you pick up a fifth case, I tell you now, your bond is going to skyrocket. Do you understand, ma'am? Would you like to apply for a court-appointed lawyer, ma'am? I'm going to have you sign a reset with Victoria. After that, you'll get with Felicia for your bond conditions. Do not pick up a fifth case. I'm telling you now. I don't know what you're doing, but you pick up another case. You're also not to hang out with the other person, the co-defendant in this case as well. Do you understand? So can you reach out to the MAC for her, and then she'll have conditions with Felicia? Okay, please, ma'am.